How we doing, y'all? Out here at the tailgate on the truck, working on getting some traps ready. It is December 12th right now, and trapping season's been open for a while, but we've been busy deer hunting. But I wanted to jump on here right quick, give y'all a little intro on this year's trapping season and show you what we got going on, some of my gear, my tools, everything like that. So kick back, grab you a beer, relax. Welcome to another episode of KD Adventures. Let's get it. Okay, as you can see, we got a lot sitting out here on the table. I'll go through a little bit of it all one by one for you. Start off with the cool shit. We got traps. We're running 3 different styles of traps this year. Here on the right is my Bridger number 2 dogless with chained super stake. Had these last year. I liked them a lot. Super easy to set. Kind of a small package, makes it easy to get it bedded in and everything. This one's some new ones I've never ran. This here is an MB 550. A little bit bigger trap, as you can tell, compared to the Bridger, but regardless, 4-coil trap. It's got anchor spring on it, as well as super stake. Third one, you've seen this one before, Duke number 3. I'm not liking these very much, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like how they set. I don't like how well they bed. This little tang gets in the way sometimes as far as getting it bedded down solid. Then of course we got the dog proofs. I think they're Dukes. I've got, I don't know, probably 13 or 14 of them. And then something new this year I'm gonna try. I've got another swivel here on my J hook for rebar anchors. We'll get to that in a minute. This one here is my stake driver for my super stakes. As you can see right there, it fits in just fine. I didn't buy this, I made it. Literally all it is a piece of rebar, kind of ground down the front of it here so it'll fit down inside there nice and snug. Welded me a great big old nut on top. This one, other piece of stake, is what my coon cuffs are gonna be anchored with. Just like that. 18-inch piece of rebar, stake it down in the ground, see how well it works. But that's my traps and my anchors. We'll move on to trapping tools. Okay, here we got laid out all my trapping tools. Metal sifter. This is a 2-inch auger bit, goes on the end of a drill, making dirt holes. Super easy, especially in frozen ground. It can be a little bit of a pain, but it's a lot easier than kind of digging a hole, I think. This is my 2nd year running it. I like it quite a bit. It works out pretty good. This, just a bag of polyfill is all that is. There's nothing special to it. I got it on Amazon. Use that to slide underneath your trap pan. Keeps from dirt and everything. Just a sod busters. I don't know what the hell this thing's necessarily called. I got it at Orscheln's. Essentially all it is a hammer with a little piece of metal bar welded to the back of it. I mean, heck, a guy could make that pretty easy if they wanted. Use that for cutting out your trap bed. I like it. Driving in stakes, kind of a 2-in-1 tool. There's a kitty litter jug full of wax sand. You can see in there, I got a couple little clumps, but you can see in there, all it is just sand that I've cooked and melted some wax on, so that way water will bead off of it. I need to make some more of that, so I'll bring you all along and show you how I make small batches of it. I'm not a big full-time trapper, so I don't need, you know, concrete mixture full of it like some guys do. So wax sand works pretty good for me. I've got a set of gloves that I use just for setting my traps, doing all my dirt work, things like that. And then I've got a set of gloves. They're just nothing special, just some cheap old Buckeye gloves. But I use these anytime I'm handling my bait, my lures. One thing I've learned, you don't want to mix your gloves or even use, you know, bare hands and set traps with that kind of lure and bait smell on your hands, because a lot of times that coyote or whatever will dig it up and smell it on the trap, because you're not burying those traps very deep. So 2 different sets of gloves works good for me. Last thing doesn't really look like much of a tool, but it is a tool. This is a Sullivan trap tester. All it is, you can see those lines right there. That's 1 pound, 2 pound, 3 pound, and 4 pound. This is for testing your pan tension. While you're sitting here at the house, in the shop, whatever, you go ahead and set your trap and pop it on this thing and see if your trap is too heavy, too light as far as pan tension is concerned. If it's super light, you know, in that 1 pound, pound and a half, and if it's too heavy, you might miss some catches, especially if the ground starts to freeze a little bit. So definitely a neat tool to invest in if you plan on doing this kind of often. And it's not here yet, but I got a different trapping bucket that I'm gonna try out this year. I ended up getting Fiber Tough trapping basket. It's a fiberglass one that is very similar to what those old timers used to use, those woven basket ones. Anyways, I'm anxious to try that out, so then I can throw it on my back, carry it in wherever I'm going, because I don't have a 4-wheeler or nothing like that. I trap out the back of my truck, but I can't drive my truck everywhere that I've got a trap set. So carrying traps in and out, carrying all your tools, stakes, everything like that, I'm really excited to try that out. And I'll show you what I used last year, and it worked pretty good for the most part, but there's definitely a better system out there. I plan on using my old setup for all my dog-proof stuff. So then I can keep my jug of bait, my bottle of spray, my traps, anchors, all that in the bucket, pack it all in and out as I go, and I don't have to worry about all my coyote stuff also. Okay, this is my trapping bucket from last year. All it is a 5-gallon bucket. I got this little shoulder strap deal for carrying it off of Amazon, because I got tired of carrying on that wire handle all the time. Then it's a cheapo little carpenter's pouch. Had a mouse chew through right there, ain't no big deal. Anyways, cheapo little carpenter's pouch. That's where I had all my bait and my lure and stuff in there, so it's separate from all my trapping tools on the inside. Another little Amazon gizmo. All that is a little plastic glove clip, you know, for hard hats, work vests, what have yous. And here, it held everything I needed. So you can see I've got a piece of PVC pipe right there. Kind of hard to see, but there's another one right there. All it is zip tied through the side of the bucket, and that keeps my stake driver and my earth auger held upright, out of the way. It's not getting all twisted and jabbing holes and shit. And then my sifter fits in there, my hammer fits in there in this little kitty litter jar for my wax dirt. Below that, I keep my trap setting gloves, my little polyfill bag. This thing worked out phenomenal. I really didn't need a new way, I just wanted one mostly, but I was very tickled with how this worked out last year. You can set it down in the mud, in the snow, won't tip over, won't soak up nothing. If you use like a canvas bag or something, it'll get wet and whatnot. But this worked out great for me for last year. Okay, now for the coon cuffs, I'm trying something totally new here. I know what does work and everything, and I'm kind of making my own little concoction to try it out. We're gonna put out some coon cuffs tonight and see if it works. So here's what it is. Mini marshmallows and dog food. I know both of those work, but I'm putting my own little twist on it here. So this spray bottle has got approximately that much vanilla extract on it. Now this is imitation. I don't know if it makes a difference. The real vanilla extract is too damn expensive. Try to catch coons. So vanilla extract, water. What I'm gonna do when I set a trap, I'm gonna take this and shoot down inside of it and kind of all around. Let that vanilla smell get up in the air and hopefully draw them in a little bit better than just the dog food and the mini marshmallows will do. Now, as far as canines and stuff, got a plethora of stinky shit laid out here. So we'll start right to left. Red fox urine. I've got a whole nother jug of this, but that's how much I used last trapping season. So far, everything I've read shows if you use red fox urine, it won't scare away a coyote. Like if you used coyote urine, it'll scare away a fox or a bobcat. Here's two different things, a Hiawatha Valley bait. One of them, I've put some field mice and whatnot that I've caught just out around the yard. Put those in there last spring to get nice and rotten. They stink bad. And here's all my lures. So I've got Mark, I don't know how well you can see, Mark June Windwalker. Brand new thing, a Dunlop Hellfire. Brand new thing, a Milligan brand Kathmandu lure. Got some Caven's Yodel Dog Coyote Gland. And then I got some Caven's Gusto. Those two back there are my first year trying them. These three I've tried before, and that I've tried before. This Hiawatha Valley shit works pretty good. It stinks to high heaven, and they don't leave very many empty traps. But you also catch a lot more possum and coon and whatnot with that than you do using glands and lures and stuff. So that's why we're going to try doing a little bit more gland and lure stuff. And I'm going to try to run all my dog proofs out there first and catch that trash out before I start putting out all the good coyote stuff. So as you can see there, all of my stuff is pretty rudimentary. I've got a lot of homemade shit and a lot of DIY shit, so it doesn't take all this fancy expensive stuff that a lot of people trap with. One thing that I would definitely recommend is just do your research, watch a lot of YouTube, you know, join some trapping forums on the old face space, and just try and learn. But for me, the biggest way to learn was just getting out there and doing it. So we're gonna go ahead and wax all them predator traps right there. Now these over here, you know, our shop's kind of a mess. These two are kind of in rough shape. The pan tension is either super light, super weak, or the jaws are just kind of rusted tight. So those need some tinkering. But anyways, we got 11 more hunters ready to go. I got this pot, a little fryer under there. And you can see where that water level's at. It's just deep enough to cover the traps, but it's not, you know, I'll just go ahead and dunk one in there for you. So here's a bridger number 2. It's enough to bury the trap in the water, and that's about it. So you don't need a whole hell of a lot of water in there, and you don't want to get that water boiling. So right now I don't have any wax in it. Let me show you my wax. So there it is. All it is chunks of paraffin wax. But this is the same wax that I waxed my traps with at the start of last season. And this stuff is good. Once you wax it, doesn't mean that it's trash. Let that water cool off. It'll dry in a thin little layer on top. Pluck that wax off of there, break it up in small pieces, put it in a sack, and keep going. We're getting our water nice and warm there. I'm just gonna go ahead and take me a couple little nuggets. Drop her on down in there. Take me a couple more. Drop down in there. Take a couple more. Drop down in there. And the last couple pieces. So that wax will start to melt, and you can see it'll make a film across the whole surface of the water there, and there won't be any more chunks. So while we're waiting on that, get you a bush light, turn on your favorite music, and it's time to start waiting. All right, y'all, it's been about, I don't know, a beer and 10 songs or so. But anyways, all that wax is melted, and you can see it's got a little film all the way around it. So what we're gonna do, come over here and grab us a trap, pick one of them, it don't matter. Now I don't wax my anchors or nothing because it's kind of pointless. So what I'll do is I'll just ball it up like that there, and all you're gonna do, dunk it down under there, let it just kind of get up to temperature. You don't want to pull it out immediately. As you can see there, it's kind of hard to tell, but my trap is white. That's wax that's stuck to the trap just from the temperature change. So what you're gonna do is wait for all that wax that's white that's on the trap. As you can see right there, getting the light a little bit better, all that's gone. There's no more white stuck to the trap. Then all you're gonna do is pull it up out of there, I kind of shake it off a little bit, let whatever drip drip. And then over here on a sawhorse, I've got a bunch of screws. So all we're gonna do, then all you're gonna do is just pick you a screw, like I got a sawhorse here. Just go hang it up and let that joker drip dry. Okay, so we're gonna grab us another one here. Like I said, just choke up on it a little bit. Dunk her down in there. That trap's gonna turn white from all of the wax sticking to it because the trap's cold, nowhere near as warm as this bucket of water. I'm kind of just holding the trap submerged in the water. I'm not letting it set on the bottom. You can. I don't really know if it makes a difference or not. But since that trap is cold and it's setting in the water, all the wax that's stuck on it when you dumped it in is melting off, rising up to the surface. And once you see that all that wax has melted back off the trap and rose up to the surface, then all you're gonna do is pull it up out of there. I kind of shake it, let it drip a little bit, and then take it over there to your... Okay, y'all, I've got all 11 traps hung up. You can see how shiny those few are, and then they get duller as they go on. These have already been waxed. These were the last ones to get pulled out. All I got, dudes, it's simple. I just got screws, wrap your chain around there, and then I'm just gonna let those puppies hang until they're nice and dry. That wax will kind of solidify on those traps, and I'll show you what the next step will be on those couple traps in there that are not hunting this year. Okay, like I said, here's a trap, not been waxed, but this is for demonstration purposes. So right in that little crook where your dog will go, you'll want to go in and file out any wax that might be hung up right there. Or you can even just take your pocket knife. Basically right there on that little lip is what you're wanting to get rid of. So if your traps are night latched, you'll want to go in where that little night latch makes a step down and file that wax out of there as well. If you don't, you'll have a buildup of wax right there where your dog goes or where your night latch is, and it won't engage fully the way that the whole trap's designed to do, especially with the night latch. So once those traps that are hanging up, once they drip dry, here in, oh gosh, probably 30 minutes to an hour or so, I'll take, and I got a small file, I'll just run in where that dog's at, or take a small pick or something, and just scrape where that dog's at, and it'll get rid of all that wax that would otherwise be in the way. So that's pretty much it as far as waxing your traps are concerned. There's not a whole lot to them. It's gonna be pretty easy to do. Some folks probably wax the anchor chains and whatnot. I don't. I just don't see a point in doing that. The wax will keep any water from wanting to freeze to the traps as bad. It still will freeze. You'll still have traps get froze to the ground, but that's where your wax sand comes into play. If you bed your traps in the wax sand, water will shed away from that. Wax dirt, same shit. And then hopefully you won't have as many problems with traps freezing to the ground. That's the whole process of waxing traps. I'm gonna go ahead and let these drip dry, and next time I see you all will probably be in the morning when we check those 2 coon cuffs we put out. So otherwise, we'll see you all right about now. Well, howdy y'all, it's the next morning. Walking out here to check these couple dog proofs that we had set out, and no catch. Right there, it's the first one, nothing in it. Walk down here to the second one, I can see it, and there's also nothing in it. So we're gonna let these hunt another day, but I won't keep y'all around to check just 2 measly old coon traps. So anyways, that'll be the end of this episode of KD Adventures. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something. And don't be afraid to get out there and try running some trap line. Hopefully, if y'all get out there and start trapping, you get tight chains. Otherwise, stay tuned for the next episode of Katie Adventures. Thank you all for watching.